So, social conflict theory. There's three primary sociological theories that you'll learn about in any sociology class, and one of them is social conflict theory. The conflict theory, often associated with Karl Marx, basically says that society is really just, it's based on our constant, I'm trying to think of another word for fight, our constant struggle for resources. So in today's society, that would be money, power, wealth, equity, education, so on and so forth. But that's resources, right? So if you think of society like a ladder, and the people with the most resources are up here, and then, we have all these rungs going down. The social conflict theory says that these people are always trying to get up here, and these people are trying to hang on to what they have by whatever means necessary. And they're also trying to continue to move up, right? Especially in American society, where there is not really a limit to what we think we can have or want. We become millionaires, then we want to be billionaires, we just keep going. So if we think about something like crime from a social conflict perspective, you could look at any structure within society, our family structure, economy, education, healthcare, the criminal justice system, anything, in terms of sort of the haves and the have-nots, and that struggle to get what we want that others have, and for those people to try to keep what they have. But if we look at crime and consider this struggle for resources, think of a huge bulk of our crimes. Like, why do people sell drugs that are illegal to get money? Why do people commit robbery and burglary to get money or something they can sell for money? Why do we have white collar crime, embezzlement, tax fraud, money? Gosh, I could just go on and on with how a huge portion of these things are about money. Okay, so you get arrested for a crime. Remember, we're talking about the scarcity of resources and the conflict theory, and how this theory says that all of these structures, and in this example I'm using the criminal justice system, are created for these people to maintain their power, and for these people to not be able to get there, right? So you commit a crime. What do you have to do to get out of jail? It's called bail or bond, depending. And you literally have to pay money to get out. And then, you need a lawyer. To get a great lawyer, you need what? Money. And then, let's say you're convicted and you serve time or you don't. Either way, there's going to be a fee, money, right? So if I'm up here and I have to pay all this money, it's, inconvenient, but okay. If I'm down here and I'm committing crime to get money, there's a good chance that I probably don't have the money available to pay for all of those fees. So what might seem like a good idea to acquire that money, it might be to commit more crime. And all of that is just going to keep these people down and keep these people up. It's kind of like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer type of idea. Our healthcare system, how do you acquire a good health insurance plan? You pay for it. If you have plenty of money, it's no big deal. If you don't, it is much more difficult. We have this idea in the US that if you work really, really hard, you can climb that ladder as much as you want to. From a sociological perspective, and especially from a social conflict perspective, that's incredibly, incredibly difficult to reach the very top of that rung, and hardly ever happens. There are a few exceptions, of course, there always are, but the lower you start out on that ladder, the harder it is to move up. The higher you start out, the harder it is to move down. So, gosh, I could go on and on about that forever, but It's very interesting. So that's social conflict theory in Professor Latini's words in 5